We got the breaking news that Kellen Moore is leaving. Mutual decision, of course. Kellen Moore is no longer going to be coaching the offense of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, and I think it is. I don't think this is just the.
I don't want to get into this right now, guys. I'm not gonna play these games.
I don't think it's just the CYA explanation. I think it genuinely is a mutual decision. I think Kellen was ready to go, and
he should be.
It was. Oh yeah, I mean, like if you
the way he gets treated around here.
If you look at his resume and the fact that he hasn't. He's taken a lot of the criticism for when things go wrong. It would be very easy, I would imagine, in his position to say, why am I putting up with this? Like why would I take this? Why am I putting up with Mike McCarthy refusing to talk about my job and what I've done and just refusing to say, I want you back? All right, well, I don't want to be back then.
Right.
And so I think it absolutely was mutual. It also was probably time. It was time for something to change. And Doug Nussmeier is apparently part of this as well. Cowboys announced last night that he was also not going to be retained. And so Doug Nussmeier, Kellen Moore, both out.
And Nussmeier was the
quarterback's coach. Yep. And he had been in that spot since John Kitna left. But I don't think you could just say, hey, let's run it back for a fourth time. This collection of McCarthy, Dak, Kellen, Nussmeier. You can't reasonably say you want to fix the turnovers and you want to fix this bizarre late season stagnation that they always run into with the offense, and then still at the same time say, but we're bringing everybody back. Something had to change in the equation, and it's a diagnosis of elimination. They're having to figure out who's the problem.
And I'm fine with it just because I don't want to feel trapped this entire offseason. Like I said, I felt after losing to San Francisco, like something has to be altered. How are you going to be any better? Because I knew they were going to lose to the 49ers. You're not getting rid of the quarterback, so let's see what can be done at coaching. But if I'm Kellen Moore, I'm sitting here with my resume saying, winning 4 straight, like everyone has totally forgotten about Cooper Rush. Totally forgot. That was 3 years ago in all of our minds. This guy won 4 straight games with Cooper Rush when we thought the season was over, lost his Hall of Fame left tackle, started a rookie at left tackle and left guard, had a new right tackle that we were all freaking out about, those who didn't believe in Terrence Steele over LC, a new number 1 receiver, which he's going to get 0 credit for, and no number 2, and a running back that needs to be up out of here. Or at the very most, a fullback who gets goal line touches. All these things are on my resume if I'm Kellen Moore. And that is why there's a lot of reports that the Buccaneers, the Chargers are interested as an offensive coordinator. Obviously, Carolina interviewed him. But all these things, fans don't give a rip. Not one rip about any of the things that happened this season.
It's disgustingly.
It is disgustingly. Yeah, he'll find a job. He'll find a job, and it may not be in the Rob Ryan. I'll have a job in 5 minutes time frame, but he'll find a job, and he should. He's a fine OC. There's nothing wrong with Kellen Moore. I'm sure the fourth OC in Dak's 8 years is finally going to be the one that works. I'm sure it's going to happen like that. So maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know, but he'll find a job, and look, if he goes to the Chargers. I mean, dude, if I'm an OC and I have my pick of where I want to go, I'll go to Los Angeles. I'll go play. I'll go coach them. I want to coach under a coach who's going to go for it on 4th down all the time, which is what Brandon Staley's going to do. And then you're going to have yourself a good quarterback.
And now the second piece of the story: Mike McCarthy is taking over the play calling. So Bobby Belt, I'm going to take you back to Saturday or Friday, and I'm going to tell you that Kellen Moore's out, which you wanted. You and Brian brought us pushing for heavily in the media around here. I put you two at the front of the line. For
you sound like McCarthy. Pushing for it in the media.
For those responses, we get disgustingly narratives that are disgustingly.
It's disgustingly.
So I'm telling you that Kellen's out, but McCarthy is now the play caller. Are you still having Kellen out? Because we know how you feel and love Mike McCarthy.
Probably. Okay. And I don't even necessarily know that McCarthy's going to be, but again, you got to change something. Something has to change up. You've got to, And I'll
You
be
don't know if
interested to see-
David Moore's report on it is true, that McCarthy is going to be taking over?
No, what do you mean?
You were like, I don't even know if.
No, I'm saying I don't even know if he'll be better than Kellen Moore. Like, I don't have confidence that he's. In fact, if you ask me, I'd say I think Kellen Moore's probably a better play caller and a better play designer than Mike McCarthy. But, if you've got to try something else, you got to see if something else will work. And you can't financially change the quarterback situation, even if you wanted to. And so you've got to change other parts of the equation and see, okay, well, is this the problem? Is this what's going on? And so I'm in favor of it from that point, but I don't know that I have confidence that it's going to be any better.
Why would McCarthy do this?
Why would he take over the play calling?
Yeah.
Maybe he was told to.
Yep. That's what I think.
Which is very odd because Jerry has gone back and forth with the wind on whether he wants a walk around or a coach to call the plays.
Right.
I mean, he has gone back and forth on this, but I think this was just a directive. It's like, all right, look, we're saving some money here, or I want you to call the plays. Let's just go and let's just do this. Let's try it out. Okay, I mean, you're actively depleting your head coach's ability to be a head coach. Well, that's fine. He can call the plays all he wants. But he'll have an OC to devise the game plan and such with him, whoever that may be, and maybe. As we get closer to the year, they do decide on somebody else or a co-play caller, if you will, like somebody can call the plays while I'm trying to figure out game management stuff.
Because Broadus has always suggested, and I'm sure he said it on your Love of the Start podcast, whatever they say about podcasts are available. He always suggests that Mike doesn't want to call the plays. That this is not him saying, I love doing it. I have to be the play caller. Give me the laminated sheet. Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, he did say when he got the play calling back, when he took the play calling back in 2016 in Green Bay, he gave an interview to Tom Pelissero where he said, I'm never giving up play calling again. But I think there's a little bit of plausible deniability to being able to say, I'm not calling the plays. And I think that's where this comes down. I mean, ultimately, you can say that the tension as a play caller with him and Aaron Rodgers is part of what got him fired at his last job. And so if he saw that and was like, man, do I want to get involved in that, even if I think I can do it? And I mean, it's interesting. When he gave up play calling in Green Bay, he said one of the reasons why is because it's just, there's too much to do Monday through Saturday. And it's, I feel I can call plays on Sunday, but in terms of all the work that needs to go in during the practice week, man, I got other things that I got to focus on and pay attention to. And it's like, okay, has that changed? And are you telling me, if you told me that back then, are you also telling me that, okay, well, now you're going to struggle or you're going to suffer Monday through Saturday with the rest of the game plan because you're too busy focused on this?
I have no doubt it's a real thing. I mean, if you're devising the game plan and you're calling plays and you're leading the organization, I can't imagine how much more that takes away from everything else that you have to do.
But the thought out there that, McCarthy is doing this and he's going to go out his way. I mean, how much do you buy into that? That he's going to go down manning the offensive controls if we're sitting here talking about his job status again.
I mean,
as other totals have said, now we know why Dan Quinn is definitely coming back because now McCarthy has two heads on the chopping block. Yeah. Not one, two.
Is he
three, really? Game management, offense, and your record / advancing in the playoffs.
Sure.
You got three heads on the chopping block, three headsets.
Is he doing this? Is he taking over the play calling? Is he doing this to, hey, look, I could do more?
Yeah.
I could.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I could show that I could do more than just be the head coach. Is somebody going to be the game management guy in game?
Right.
Is he going to have somebody else?
You better.
Well, I think you better anyway. Even if he's not the play caller, you need to have somebody else in game.
But if he's not doing anything else, if he's not calling, he's not installing the offense during the week, I don't think it's ridiculous to say you need to be in charge of those calls.
Who else could be on the staff offensively?
Who
Brian
could
Schottenheimer?
Who could serve as coordinator?
Yeah.
Schottenheimer probably is the only one I can think of. Ben McAdoo, if he comes back. He liked McAdoo. Nussmeier could have before they moved on from him because now you got quarterback. I don't know. They very well may just call Mike McCarthy offensive coordinator and head coach. I don't know. But I think I think it's as likely that Mike McCarthy said, hey, I'm calling plays. This is my decision. That's what we're doing. As it was that Mike McCarthy made the decision, said, Rob Davis, you're out of here. You're fired. I think I think he was told, this is what we want you to do. Yeah. That's what I think happened.
I hope it's out of like love, like your Sean Paytons of the world, your Shanahans, they want to call plays. That's their baby. They love it.
Right.
And I hope that McCarthy still has like that love and passion.
He does. I mean, if you look at past quotes, he does love it, and it was very difficult for him to give it away. It was so difficult for him to give it away that he went 12 games into the next season before he said, I'm taking it back. And he took it back, actually, oddly enough. It was against Dallas in 2015 when they came to town. But it's also something that I think.
But one issue is yeah, he may love it. And you're right. Like, this may be the way him going down with that ship. But you mentioned Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan. I just Googled Kyle Shanahan game management. First one up there. Kyle Shanahan is a wizard, but his game management struggles consistently and puts the 49ers in a bind.
Yeah.
Like he didn't challenge Devontae. That was a huge mistake yesterday right off the jump. That wasn't a clock issue, but.
Right. So this, because he's probably getting ready.
And Sean Payton's been called out many times, and Andy Reid.
Yes, of course.
And he
calls plays.
I know we have Bieniemy, but.
And it's a problem that they're going to run into.
Game management also, those stuff we don't see a lot of times. Like, I remember that there was a viral clip a few years back of Kyle Shanahan walking up to the line judge and said, this corner cannot stop holding him. He's like, we're going to run a speed out here. Watch him. He won't let him go. And he runs it. He told them what the route was coming. They snapped the ball and the official threw it because he held him. And so, like, Kyle Shanahan does, I think some of those little aspects that and McCarthy may be involved in some of that. We don't see those sorts of things. It's a little bit like offensive line or officiating, where it's like you don't even notice when it's good, and like you don't even notice them until they do it bad.